welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Just take a few moments to ground in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the Quantum Self-Healing Challenge. So excited to share with you today and really set up for this energy to have this next experience. So far we have been focusing on receiving, getting into alignment, paying attention to what our focus is. So what are you focusing on? What are you noticing, right? And really feeling that. So today, what I'm really excited about is it is one of my favorite parts, and that is talking about the God field. And so today we're going to be diving into understanding more about the God field, about the quantum field, about how the energy of all of it works, and how you can harness the field, the gap, and how you can get into the 0 point field for you to experience massive healing in your life. And this is so important because letting go of your reality of the material experience, your body, the programs in your mind, and getting into the field of infinite possibilities, into this gap, is exactly how you're going to be able to heal. And that's what we want for you today, is to really have this experience. So what I want to know is how many of you know what the God field is, or have some sort of understanding of quantum physics, or maybe none at all. Like, let me know in the comments and in the chat so I get an idea of how deep and how in depth to go into sharing about the field and the experiences that we can have. Because it really helps to understand where we're at, right? What's happening, what the field is, and what we can do to really experience it together. I do these wonderful experiments with the field where we will challenge the field to bring out miracles in our lives, because the key with the flip side of the coin of healing is manifesting. So the more that you heal your life, the more you will manifest the life of your dreams. And so people that say, oh, I want to manifest, or I want to create, well, what they're really needing to do is understand that they've got to heal the things that are getting in the way of doing that. So let's see what we got over here in the comments. Heard me mention it, but I'm not 100% clear. Okay, I think it's the energy around you. Some idea on quantum, but not on God field. Okay, cool. Let me go over into our other over here and see what people are saying, because I got different stuff going on in different places, different folks for different strokes. Okay, seeing what we know. So okay, so a little bit of idea of what is going on in the quantum, but not fully. So great. So I'm going to explain to you. So what I call the God field is that is just my experience. If you think that source, God, the collective consciousness, the field of infinite possibilities, it is the all-knowing, it is the source. And so for me, the quantum field felt very scientific, and it didn't quite encompass all of the experience of what I call to be the God field, because the quantum is this place of all possibilities, right? It is this space, but the God field to me was more than just the energy of the quanta in the field, and that it was something deeper. And so I'll share a little bit about, the what I believe the experience is, in this idea of this field of possibilities. And so we have this fine line, this veil between imagination and reality. And what we see in the world is a projection of what we are believing, feeling, creating on a deeper level. And that deeper level, what they've come to explain, is a holographic universe, right? So all that appears within without is within. Literally, they say the universe is inside you. So the God field, the quantum field, the reality, everything that is without is within, and we are creating this experience. So the body and the world are the mirrors of our beliefs and our feelings, and they're mirroring because it is on this wave of potentiality. It is on this wave of experience. So if there's a field of possibilities, if there's a God field and we're all connected to it, guess what? We can tune into this channel, get the messages, the healing, and the learning. So think of it like this place of all possibilities, where one, it's the best way to predict your future is to create it from the unknown, not the known. So all of these potentials exist as electromagnetic signals. Why is this important? Well, we're going to get into in a couple days more into the challenge. We'll be talking about the heart has an electromagnetic field, the brain has an electromagnetic field, and the quantum field exists as electromagnetic signals. So the God field is this quantum field of electromagnetic signals that connects us all together and allows us this connection, so that we can think of it like a blanket, right? So you have a blanket, and somebody's over here sitting on the couch, and they're sitting in their blanket and snuggling in it over here. Somebody's over on this end of the couch, same blanket, snuggling over here in the blanket. The blanket has stitches in it. The stitches down here are connected to the stitches over at the other end of the blanket. Why? Because it's all part of the same blanket. That's what that quantum field is. That's what that God field is. It is this blanket of energy where everything is connected, where everything is one. So there is no such thing as the other or separate. That's what we call non-local. Non-local means that everything is all connected and everything. So if they're all connected, and so you have this space of pure potentiality, and in that is what they call the quantum void, or the gap, or this space of nothingness, right? Which is in between the energy, and you have all these things. And this is where, in that energy where we think that there is nothing, is where we can create. It is where we can step into, and it is where everything is in a neutral state. So think of it like this: you have a switch, and when you turn the switch on, that means it's allowed, right? The light comes on, it's an allowed state. And when you turn the switch off, it's disallowed, or it's not, it's dark. The light is out, right? So one of those states, allowed or disallowed. So the space in between is where, so an allowed state is what you're creating, or a disallowed state is what you're creating, right? But when you're in between, when you're flipping in, right in the middle of that space, right? It's that forbidden place, that space where all possibilities exist. Because in that moment, what happens? You can go either way. You could go to the allowed, you could go to the disallowed, right? And in the quantum field, there's many more than just off and on. There's just more than just allowed or disallowed. And so it's like this off and on switch. And so when we shift into quantum awareness, it's a possibility when we can focus on the space between the gap, and in this blank canvas or this empty space, and that's where all objects are painted or observed. And so it is from this place of nothingness that you want to create and heal your life. And it is in this space where people have instantaneous healings. I had a woman that was at my retreat in Western Australia, in Dunsborough, in Western Australia in 2019. She was a lineage of people that had come to my retreats. I had had her daughter at my retreat, her granddaughter at my retreat, her grandniece at my retreat, in the States. And so they had all come to this retreat in Australia. They're all these amazing, they're my Australian family now. And we were working through a process where we were walking through the emotional attachment. She had had a stroke previously, and half of her face was paralyzed. And it had been paralyzed for about a year. And she's actually had a doctor's appointment the following week, after this retreat, to go in and finally have some like injections done and some different things done to see if she could get this, drooping face to heal itself, to like start to work again and different things like that. And within 20 minutes, this is where the quantum, right? Because there is no such thing as space or time. Now, her face had been like this for a year. And we walked her through this process. And within 20 minutes, her face healed itself in front of her whole family that was there at the retreat, right? It was this miraculous experience. What we did was we stepped into the void, and we were speaking the language of the field. And through that, we were able to allow her to let go and release the attachment in her physical body that was holding that in her place, and it instantaneously healed. Because in the quantum field, in the God field, time and space do not exist. And so you can heal anything in the past, in the future, right now. And I know that might be hard to wrap your brain around, because our brains think in a linear fashion, and we believe that time exists, and we believe that yesterday was yesterday and tomorrow is tomorrow. That's because our perception only allows us to see things, excuse me, in a certain way. But it is possible to have these types of instantaneous healings. Now, sometimes we're pretty stubborn, and working in this empty space and allowing our bodies to heal takes a longer time, because we've got programs and things going on. So what we want to do is work into this sea of infinite possibilities, into this void. So yesterday what did I tell you? I asked you to post in the group, and I said, tell me how many times what you're focusing on, and how many times, right, on a daily basis, when you're thinking about the thing that's keeping you stuck in the thing that you don't want. So if you wake up every day, and so if you have a financial challenge, and every day you wake up and you think about the fact that you don't have money in your bank account, what are you doing? That's the focus. And what are you creating more of? That same focus. Or if you wake up every day and you have a pain in your shoulder. I know it's hard not to focus on a pain in your shoulder, right? Wake up every day and you don't see yourself as whole, and you have this pain in your shoulder. Guess what? You're perpetuating the experience of more of that, of that in your life, right? So and so what we learn and what we want to experience is like, let's focus on something different. And so yesterday I said, well, every time you have this focus or this thing that shows up, count it, and then immediately go into a place of love or gratitude, right? We wanted to work with the vibrations. We wanted to start to rewire the synapses in the brain, get out of the rut of the same thinking over and over, because we're in this beta brainwave that keeps doing this, right? We think what they say, like some 90,000 thoughts a day, or is it 90,000? No, I got the number wrong this time. But over 90% of all of our thoughts that we think every day are the same. So we've got to start reworking that, rewiring that, moving that through. And so one of the ways that we're going to focus on today is we're going to work on focusing on the void, the quantum vacuum, the 0 point that's in the God field. It's the space where that potentiality exists, and that there where you can just have all of the potential going on, right? In this quantum vacuum, it carries and stores information about all things, all activities, and all of the cosmos. And the info is conserved, right? It's conserved in this field. But how do you access it? Well, this is where you have to understand how to get into your ground state or your 0 point, right? Are you someone that's always in constant activity, right? Or is your influence stormy, or are you conscious and intentional? What ripples are you sending out? So what we want to do is start to notice the space, the void, the gap, the ground state, the moment. So the space in between the two thoughts, or the space in between two words, right? Or the space in between musical notes. So we're going to start to focus on, instead of like yesterday, I wanted you to intentionally focus on a thing. Yesterday, you were focusing on the thing. Now I want you to open your focus, right? Instead of like creating, how many of you think when you think of meditation, you're thinking, I got to focus, quiet my mind, focus. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to take your focus off of everything, and we're going to open your focus. We're going to open your focus, open it into the space, open it into the gap, look for the space in between things. And so how do we start to practice this, right? We want to start to practice this openness, practice this space, allowing yourselves to have space in between words. Just notice the difference, right? How would you react differently if you knew that every thought, word, and action that you were saying was being recorded and sending ripples throughout the universe that never go away? So your challenge, your focus, what we're going to be focusing on here is the space in between. And so I want you to start to notice the gaps between sounds. Sit in the silence. Breathe into the silence of things between thoughts. We want to get you into a ground state. And so we have many techniques that we teach in our quantum healing retreats and our programs to get into ground state. There's so many different ways. If you have a special technique, if you have something that you really love that allows you to get really grounded into ground state and to get into that space, that's beautiful, because once you're into ground state, then you can start to access that quantum void. But I want to teach you today how to start to focus on space, right? Focus on the space in between. I love that. Think of something like the silence between the notes that make the music. Imagine, if you can, music without pauses or silent spaces. Without the pauses or silence, the music would be one infinitely long note of noise. What we call music would actually be impossible. Think of that, right? So we want to start to really focus on the gap. And then once we can get into that gap, then we start to grow the gap. And then we can start it being in that energy and floating in it and harnessing our intentions and bringing our intentions for healing and bringing our disease into that. And it will start to dissipate, and it will start to shift, and it will start to change. So we're going to just do another breath today that's going to allow us to breathe. And the breath this time is, I got a, oh yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely not coming down with a cold. Thank goodness. I will be fine in just a little bit. And so what we want to do is focus on the breath, and instead of the breath, we're going to be focusing on the gap and holding into the gap today. So I'm going to put on a little bit of music, and I want you to do two things. We're going to be breathing in, holding, breathing out, and holding. So you're going to breathe in, you're going to hold. I'm going to have you come and you're going to hold, and imagine that you're holding that breath in the top of your head. And then when you breathe out, I'm going to have you breathe in and out into your pelvic bowl, and imagine that you're holding your breath at the bottom. And I want you to focus on the breath, right? I want you to focus on the breath, but then focus on the gap. And we're going to have you sit in that gap, in that void, in that whole breath hold for like 5 counts each time. And I want you to just notice and see and start to feel, because what we want to get is you get to a place where you can start to float in your body. And I want you to focus on the space and just listen to my words and what I'm walking you through, and see what you notice as we start to focus on the gap, and see what you start to feel in your body. It's a really beautiful and cool experience. So let me go back over here to my music. Okay. And we won't make sure it's not too loud. Okay. So I just want you to breathe in, and breathing in, following that breath all the way up into the center of your forehead. And I want you to just hold, and just hold there, and just focus on the hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now breathe out, breathing out, and then hold at the bottom again. Hold into that space, holding into that gap. And now breathing back in, just bringing that breath up, all the way up, and then hold. Really start to focus in on the hold, on the silence in between the breaths, in that gap. And then breathe out and focus again on that hold. Now this time on your breath in, as you're breathing in and then you holding in that space, I want you to imagine that you're sitting in that empty space behind your eyes, focusing on the empty space as you hold. Maybe yours is black, or maybe it's filled with galaxy stars. Focusing on the space inside your body, and then breathe out and down and deep into your pelvic bowl. And again, now I want you to focus on the space inside your body as you hold into that pelvic bowl, holding that gap, just noticing the space, letting go of the focus of your body and instead focusing on the space in your body. And then breathing up again. And now I want you to start to let go of the feeling of your body and start to focus on the space around you. Focus on the God field. Focus on the wave. Just continuing to breathe. And as you do, keep expanding your awareness, letting go of the focus of you and opening your awareness to the open field, to the gap, to the void. Start to feel the energy. This energy is so potent. It's alive with potentiality. It is so incredible. Start to feel it. Just allow yourself to become the wave and let go of the experience of your body. It's in the gap that you will be able to heal. Is where you're connected to all dimensions and times and planes. It is in this space when we take people on our quantum healing journeys, when we get them into full signature and alignment of wholeness, and then open them and they become the antenna. Their bodies are an antenna into the field. You literally become an antenna into the God field and into that void, and allows for you to pull in the wholeness and the healing and to float on that wave. And so we walk you through this process that allows you into this deep alignment. And so right now, just practicing feeling that space, feeling that energy, feeling that experience will really create this powerful honing of this for you. This is the place of true, powerful healing. So your challenge for day 3, so again, posting in the group, sharing what you notice, right? So that you can be entered in the drawings and in the, get $100 for your participation, is this time you're going to start to look for the space between objects. So I want you to really focus, take time to focus. Instead of looking at an object, try to look at the space between yourself and the object. Allow yourself to feel that. And then you're going to, again, work on this breath, right? Breathe in, hold and gap, breathe out. Notice if you feel the tingling in the energy in your body, if you start to feel that energy rising, that's really great, because that means that you're letting go of the matter that exists so that you can shake it up, move it around, and become, and allow your body to self-heal, right? The whole goal in all of this is so that your body can start the self-healing. So I want you to commit to taking this breath today, this gap breath, looking for the space between objects and really starting to focus on the quantum vacuum, the God field. Are you committed? Yes. Awesome. Beautiful, everyone. Thank you all again so very much. Oh, and so for those of you that asked, we are doing a quantum healing retreat. It is March 27th and 28th. It will be available so that we have tons of Australian people there. It will be available so that it is at a time where people in Australia can also join. It will actually be on Australia's Sunday and Monday, the 28th and 29th. So that you guys know, we'll be posting the link in the group for everyone to check out, and so that you can ask questions if you want to know more. We are going to be going deep into this, creating a vortex of energy and healing so that you can walk away from that weekend completely healing something in your life. We've had people that have healed from paralysis, endometriosis, financial issues, scoliosis. Some really amazing things have happened in these 2-day retreats and these deeper retreats. So this is going to be both virtual and live. So it's live in California. If you're in California and want to come live, you can come live in California. For those of you around across the rest of the world, it will be a virtual retreat, and you can join us virtually, and you will of course also get all of the recordings from that. And so those of you that sign up during the during this week, during the quantum healing self-healing challenge, and we are also doing I'm doing a class on Saturday, a 1-hour deep dive class where we're going to come in deep, where you're going to actually be able to interact with me and answer questions and things like that. when you guys sign up live and join, I'm going to gift you my Quantum Money Mastery program, because finances seems to be the second biggest challenge for everyone. I'm going to gift you that program. That program is, I think that program's like $397. We're going to give that to you as a gift, so it's almost the same cost. You're getting a free gift that's nearly the same cost as the Quantum Healing Retreat, and so that's our gift for you for this week. When you and if you do all 5 days of the challenge, you show up and you post in the group and do everything that we ask, you get $100 off too. So you get all these fun things, and then plus everybody we're doing a drawing on top of that. So when you sign up this week, you get the Quantum Money Mastery program as our bonus gift for free, as a way of saying thank you. And so we'll put some more information about that in there. But what you're doing today, again, your challenge and your homework is to work on the gap, is to focus on that, and then post in the group. What does it feel like when you are breathing and in the gap? What does it feel like when you are, in this energy? I want to really know what's happening for you. What are you noticing? What's changing in your life this week? Share with us. And because when you post in the group, I will respond and post back. I would love to hear it. And I know I've gotten a couple emails from people too. I'm going to get back to you on those soon here. We had over 300 people register for the challenge, so I'm working on getting the answers and things back to you all. So thank you all so very much for joining me for another day of the challenge, and I will see you soon. Namaste.